Welcome to Unity of Springfield's New Thought and World Religion class. I'm Rachel Lee, here with
Greg Lee.
to talk about integration, part 2.
Talk about what?
Integration. Yeah.
Wow, I guess you're right.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Well, we did define it last week.
Yeah, last week we talked about integration a little bit, how you apply the knowledge and the insights that you gain to your everyday life. You take maybe an experience, mystical or otherwise, and make a change and live that change. And that's kind of what we talked about for integration and some of the pitfalls, some of the dangers, some of the traps that you could fall into during integration is kind of what we wanted to hit on today. We ended last week with, but what does it look like if you haven't integrated? What does it look like if you are stumbling on the road to integration, I suppose?
Yeah, we touched a little bit on some of the ways that we could maybe be faced with an insight, and rather than making the necessary changes, we choose to avoid whatever the problem was identified as. So I think the example that we used last week was if you had a compulsive drawing problem, rather than avoiding all pens and paper, you could maybe work on ways of overcoming that compulsive need so that you could draw, but in a controlled way. And you wouldn't have to avoid altogether the things that affect you.
That trigger you.
Yeah, that trigger you.
All of the words. Right. And so today we're going to start, I guess, a little bit with, audience participation. So get ready to raise your hands. I'm kidding. Don't worry.
Oh, did you look at me?
I did. Yeah, of course. Just the pitfalls of integration, avoidance versus solving. If anyone has an example they wish to share, don't hesitate to throw a tomato or put your hand in the air or anything like that. The main, my nose is so stuffy. The main point that Rachel and I discussed a little bit is how the avoidance of integration, the willful or otherwise, leads to cycles, leads to continuing to remain in a cycle. It does not break a cycle, it does not form a new one. If you learn something and do not change, well, you're going to have to learn that again, turns out. And that's what we mean by cycles.
If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. Yeah, so integration would be the uncovering of some profound mystical or otherwise insight, and then making a change so you're not doing the same thing you've always done.
We talk about cycles a lot. A lot at home. We probably mention cycles weekly, multiple times, maybe once every so often, maybe once a month, we'll do a full-on sit-down chat about what cycles are coming up and what cycles did we just pass and what do we need to do and where are we in each other's cycles and all of this stuff. And it really helps. Loops too. Loops is a good one. An example of something like that would be loops, L-O-O-P, not fruit, but loops like a cycle. When you come back around to the same message, to the same wisdom, to the same whatever it is you're supposed to learn. And we'll find, I notice mine weekly. I have weekly cycles that I go through. We all have monthly cycles. We talk about our yearly and our 5-year cycles too. Rachel and I do a lot of our planning and our forecasting based on our year cycles and our 5-year cycles.
7-year cycles.
7-year cycle is a great one, as long as it's not an itch.
nothing
Yeah,
on your
exactly.
page.
The moon cycles is another great one. Menstrual cycles. All of these are things that can help you plan. And what we wanted to talk about a little bit was how to see them and how to affect them and change them and break them and create them, and how to utilize them, how to surf the waves, as John pantomimed.